Ladies, let's talk. You want to have a man feel connected, emotionally attached to you. And he should want the same from you. There are five very distinct emotional and logistical, playful, physical, whatever triggers that will essentially force a man to connect with you. Now, you can't do it with every man. It has to be a match to begin with. But these are five things you should be working towards. These are five things that you should understand about relationships so that you can see if they're working for both of you. So let's get into them. If you're new here, my name is Dr. Jon Dabach. I've been doing this work with women and couples since 2011 in terms of how to build and hold on to relationships. I basically live and breathe relationships every day. Thanks for being here. By the way, about me, in terms of the way I talk, I don't use a lot of psychobabble, not a lot of big terms. It's really just grounded, simple stuff because at the end of the day, who wants to look up another model of therapy or modality and all these long terms? And we've overused the term narcissism already in culture. If I throw another one like histrionic personality disorder at you and you're like, what the hell is that? I don't want to do that. Let's talk simple. Right? Because at the end of the day, that's the way you're going to talk. That's the way you're going to understand the world. I don't sit there and analyze people based on personality disorders, even when they're in a session with me. I just try to see the person for who they are and what's wrong and what's hurting and how can I help. So let's get right into the five triggers. Now, when I say triggers is usually negative. These are triggers. You want to pull the trigger on these things because they actually help you attach on an emotional level. So the first thing for a man is that they want to feel admired. Most men want to feel admired by the woman they're with and respected, but not for what they do. It's very common for a man to rise the ranks of whatever career that they have and have women suddenly flock to them because there's something attractive, not just financially, but there's discipline involved. There's a status, right? There's a lot of benefits that come with being successful in business. But men don't want to be admired necessarily for what they do. They want to be admired for who they are. There's a respect for character, right? If a man views himself as very compassionate and you see that in him, he'll feel seen. He'll feel admired for something in his core that he was born with that he likely cannot or will not change. And when you respect him for who he is, rather than what he does, what you're saying is, I see you and I know you and I love you. And the part of you that will never change, the part of you that you're scared might turn people off maybe, right? Too compassionate can mean a bit of someone who compromises too easily. But you see that and you see the good in it. You see the positive spin. That makes somebody feel loved. That makes somebody feel like there's legs to commitment here. Because those parts I'm not going to get rid of. If you see that I'm late, right, to events, and you're able to say, it's okay that you're late because you don't rush, you don't have anxiety. Yes, there's such thing as too late, but the fact that you're not stressed out about getting there on time and making everybody's life a living hell, that's actually kind of nice, right? What a spin, right? Now, you shouldn't lie about this stuff, right? If something really bothers you, I don't want you to sit there and lie. But what is love? Love is the ability, or it's not the ability. Love is the feeling you have when you focus on somebody's positive qualities. That's what love is. As simple as it can be, right? Defined. If I'm thinking about somebody and I think, oh, he's such a liar, he's such a cheat, that's not love. But if I think of my wife right now, Michelle, beautiful, amazing, she's a psychologist, been together 15 years, 4 kids, best woman in the world. If I sit there and I think she's such an amazing cook and she's so sweet and warm and she makes me laugh, all those positive qualities, that's the love. And so when you see someone for who they are and you have a positive association with it and they feel that, that connects you on an emotional level. Trigger number 2, experiencing safety to be vulnerable. If you can show a man that it's safe to talk about things that are hard for him to talk about, that there is literally no other quicker way to develop a strong relationship with him. If he's having a hard time at work and you're not trying to fix it and you're not trying to, control it, and you're not trying to give advice and you're not trying to do anything for him to make it easier, you're just there to let him vent, and you say, Do you want help with that? Or are you just trying to vent? If you can phrase things like that and you give them space and there's no judgment, oh my God. Men don't have that with their own friends half the time. A man doesn't typically sit there with his friend and say, I'm so depressed, I just don't know what to do, right? That's some men do. Yeah, sure. More neurotic ones. But most men, when they get together with their best friends, it's all about what's going on with you and sports and weather and movies and comedians and cars, because we don't want to go there. If they see that they can be open and emotionally safe and vulnerable with you, and there's no judgment and there's no fixing and there's no nothing other than just being present, nothing will get you quicker to being connected. By the way, if you like this type of content and you're looking to develop or maintain a relationship, consider subscribing. This is a channel where I basically come out with videos every day. It's new here, but I plan on doing this for a long time coming. Number 3, having a shared purpose in growing together. Values are important, right? If somebody's very ambitious and you show them that you're ambitious too, that shared sense of value is huge. Can happen in other areas. So it could be spiritual, it could be emotional, it could be philanthropic, right? A good example, if you like clicking around on YouTube, Alex Hormozi and his wife, I believe her name is Layla, they connected on how ambitious they were. And they were going to be a power couple together. That's a great connecting force. Now, is it everything in their relationship? I sure hope not, because it's not enough. But man, that's like rocket fuel. Number 4, feeling desired, feeling chosen over and over and over again. We don't talk about this much, but men have a craving to be desired that's just as strong, if not more strong in some cases, than a woman's calling, or not calling, but a woman's, yearning to be desired. Because it's repressed. We don't talk about it because men are supposed to be the suitors. And I do believe that. I do believe that the men should be the one chasing a little bit, showing, wooing. That's healthy for that gender dynamic. But there's also a sense of being wanted, of being desired. And when you show the man that I choose you again and again and again, oh my God, does that feel amazing? Right? If you told most husbands who've been married for 10 or 15 years, if the woman turned to that husband every morning and said, I'm so glad I'm married to you, they're not going to, they might say it, but they're not going to feel really, I'm so sick of hearing that. They're not going to feel that. They might tell you, please stop, because they're embarrassed and they feel like there's, the next word out of your mouth is, and there's this lovely purse I would like you to buy me. Maybe they feel like there's a catch coming. But I don't know any man that's not going to actually want to hear that. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to be wanted. I mean, how would you feel if you were married to somebody for 20 years and every time they walked through the door when they got home from work, they gave you a big hug and they said, I'm lucky to be married to you? You think you'd get tired of that? Of course not. Of course not. And if you're sitting there saying, of course I'd get tired to it, see a therapist. Something's wrong. Something's wrong. That's like saying, won't my kids be sick of hearing I love you? What are you, nuts? You should say I love you 1,000 times a day. And if you come from a family where nobody said I love you and it's uncomfortable for you, please try to work past it. It's not super great. It's really not. I love you should be like water. You just give it. You give it to your kids, right? You should give it to your partner too. And then the 5th thing I want to talk about is experiencing peace and playfulness. Right? Those are the 2 things that men want to see in a relationship, that we can have conversations and there isn't always drama, and we can play, we can have fun. So a lack of drama and a lot of fun, what a recipe for success. What a recipe for success. Most men are more avoidant. They're not super anxious. And so confrontation is hard and it's painful for them. Just bottom line, for most men, confrontation is painful. And so they say, I just want peace. I just want peace. I just don't want to fight. Really what they're saying is, I have a hard time with confrontation. So if you show them that when there is confrontation, as there should be in a relationship, you shouldn't sweep everything under the rug, but when there is confrontation, you're able to handle it in a way where it doesn't escalate. It's not easy to do that, by the way. But if you can master that skill and you're able to have fun and laugh, oh my God, that relationship's going to be beautiful. What do I mean by playfulness? I don't mean that you should schedule hiking trips and rock climbing and stuff like that. I'll give you an example from my own life. My wife and I, we went to Trader Joe's the other day. It was about a month ago. And I just went with her because I had a free moment, which isn't super common for me. And I said, why don't I just go with you? I want to be with you. She said, great. Already it was fun. And then she went to get the bananas and I went to get the granola and we separated for a split second. And then I came back to see her by the bananas and there was this old woman hunched over in the shopping cart. She must have been like 4'7", just really like low. And she was taking up a lot of the space in the aisle and slowly pushing the cart. And I just stood behind her like this. Like I could have easily walked around her. I just stood behind her like this. Like, is she gonna move? Is she gonna move like this? Right? And she didn't see me, obviously, but my wife was bent. She saw me doing this whole act for her. And she was bent over laughing. And so hard she had to cover her face and walk away because she didn't want the old lady to think that we were laughing at her. You can laugh at Trader Joe's. There's a sense of playfulness. One of you is going to be the funny one in the relationship. Might be you, might be him. But lean into it. Lean into that laughter. Lean into that joy. Because you know what? Life's too short not to laugh every day. It really is. When you're building a relationship with a man, the first 3 months is going to be really key. And a lot of women don't understand the emotional journey that most men go through on these first 3 months. So I've made a guide for you. It's a free download. Again, short, very common, everyday language, no psychobabble. Just enter your email and you can download it immediately. The description, or not the description, the link is in the description below. And you know what else life is too short for? Playing games. If you're dating a man and you want him to miss you, a lot of people will tell you to leave a thing at his house and don't text him. Those are all games. And there's a way to make a man miss you without playing games. And if you want to learn how to do that, I've made a video for you and the thumbnail is popping up on your thumb screen to watch that video right now. I really suggest that you give that a look if you've ever struggled with that. Thanks for watching.